Another dangerously cold morning, but slowly and surely temperatures are beginning to improve. The latest on a wind chill advisory coming up with your first alert forecast.
And as Lance just told you, it's still pretty cold, but schools are reopening all over the Milwaukee area as Milwaukee's Arctic cold spell starts to ease up.
And new this morning, see where the temperatures have to reach 20 below zero before they keep the kids inside for recess.
And we are checking on your traffic conditions for you this morning. This is a live look right now from our exclusive iCam video and showing you exactly what kinds of conditions you'll meet as you get behind the wheel this morning.
We are the CBS 58 Morning News with Nate Custer and Jessica Ty.
Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, January 8th. I'm Jessica Ty.
And I'm Nate Custer. We have several developing stories to bring you today, starting with breaking news from Milwaukee's South Side. Our Matt Doyle is live at the scene of what appears to be a serious gas leak. His report is just ahead.
The other big story this morning is still the weather. Yes, it is warming up, but it is definitely not warm outside. Let's check out those temps right now with meteorologist Lance.
Okay, thanks so much. Yeah, we are slowly and surely moderating, but still dangerously cold this morning. Because of that, we have a wind chill advisory. Now, that is an upgrade from the warning that we had Monday and into Tuesday mornings. Advisory meaning wind chills to -10 to -20 versus the -30 to -50 we had. It goes until 9 o'clock for our southern counties from I-94 south, Jefferson, Waukesha, Milwaukee south, north, and our northern counties until noon today. It'll take just a little bit longer for our northern counties to warm up. We do have clear skies right now. That has allowed temperatures to drop off 18 below. Actual air temperature, Burlington right now, Defies below Milwaukee and Racine, 11 below to the north, Sheboygan and Waukesha checking in at 8 below. Wind chills to about -20 to -25 up north, about -10 to -20 in most of our southern locations. So a quick check on that forecast today. If you're sending the kids back off to school, bitterly cold, just make sure they are bundled up and prepared this morning. We'll still see those temperatures sub-zero at the bus stops, about 5 above at lunchtime, and later on this afternoon, temperatures with sunshine all day long, right around 7 degrees in the car line on the way home. And guys, we're looking ahead coming up in just a few minutes to some icy accumulation potential maybe towards the end of the week on Friday, but that's associated with some warmer air as well. Details on all of that in just a few minutes, Jess.
Thank you so much, Lance. We are following breaking news into the CBS 58 newsroom. Right now, the Milwaukee Fire Department is investigating a carbon monoxide leak at a 100-unit apartment building on the city's south side.
CBS 58's Matt Doyle is on the scene. Matt, what can you tell us?
Well, people at Seaway Terrace Apartments here on the south side were nearly evacuated from the 100-unit apartment complex here because of that carbon monoxide leak. Now, the firefighters came out around 4:30 this morning. They found one unit with extremely high levels of carbon monoxide. Now, the unit next door to that person's unit called the fire department when their carbon monoxide alarm went off. Now, there were 6 units in the area that were affected. The fire department gained entry to the unit that had the issue, and the renter was not in there at the time, which is a good thing because with the high levels of carbon monoxide, they could have been sick. Now, the crews used electric fans and opened up windows to ventilate it. There were no injuries or illnesses reported. The readings in the areas of the common areas were pretty high for carbon monoxide, but they were able to get in and clear it out relatively quickly. We Energies confirms they were called out to help investigate this, but at this time, again, no injuries, and there were no evacuations this morning, which would have been a rough wake-up call for many people here, but the scene was cleared just a little bit ago. There's still some Milwaukee Police Squad cars on the scene. They told me they're trying to get in touch with the building manager to make sure that everything is okay. We are live on Milwaukee's South Side. Matt Doyle, CBS 58 News.
Thank you for an update on that breaking news, Matt. Local students are heading back to class this morning after dangerously cold weather prompted districts to cancel classes 2 days in a row. High Mount Community School on the north side of Milwaukee will start at 7:35 this morning, just to give you one example. The back-to-back 2-day closure was the first for the cold weather since 2007. MPS did close in 2009 for 1 day due to the cold. The closures over the last 2 days impacted more than 78,000 students in the district. MPS officials are warning parents this morning to keep their children safe in the cold. They want kids to dress warmly with hats, gloves, and scarves to keep exposed skin safe. Parents can also call the school social worker if they need help or call the 211 helpline. Classes also resume at Cardinal Stritch today after the university lost power and heat last night. Officials believe the extreme cold may be to blame. Night classes were canceled, but after 2 hours, crews were able to get everything back up and running.
This is just another example of how the cold can affect us and affect other organizations in terms of electrical problems, heating issues, and so forth. So I think everyone's looking forward to having some warmer temperatures in the long-range forecast.
Other businesses also experienced some issues yesterday. Pipes burst at the Macy's in Mayfair. There are a couple of schools that are closed this morning. Schlitz Audubon Nature Center preschool is closed today due to heating issues inside of the classrooms. Also, Wind Lake Academy in Milwaukee is closed today and tomorrow because of a water leak. Make sure to check our website, cbs58.com, and click on the closings tab for the very latest.
Time now is 6:34, and the Milwaukee Department of Public Works saying that crews will work extended hours to catch up on garbage collection that was sidelined for salting operations. Now, garbage pickup is expected to continue into Saturday.
Cancellations and delays are down at Mitchell International Airport today, but there are some yet, so check before you go. I just went ahead and pulled up, this is the arrivals that I'm looking at right now. As you can see here, there are a number of cancellations and delays. The first one here on the board, Cleveland 752 canceled. The next one, New York on Delta, canceled for 8:10. So just take a look. As you see, though, a number of them still on time. Check before you go. Airports were a nightmare over the last few days. Airlines are now trying to recover and get people to their destinations.
Time now, 6:35, and a local mom continuing to wait this morning for the return of her teenager, who is one of hundreds stuck on Amtrak trains, stopped in their tracks by drifting snow.
He just kept on saying, you know, the train's not going anywhere, the train's not going anywhere. And, but that just kind of went on for days.
Heidi Havens of Fox Point says it's been a real struggle trying to track her son Benjamin's whereabouts. He left Ohio late Sunday night. Within 90 minutes, he was stuck near Indianapolis and checked in when he could charge his cell phone. Several trains were blocked by snow drifts on the tracks, and Amtrak canceled half of its Milwaukee to Chicago routes yesterday. And stuck passengers in Illinois were taken by bus to Chicago, but Heidi's son's return remains uncertain.
I don't know. I didn't know where he was. He didn't know where he was. He couldn't see out the windows. No one knew anything. There wasn't anyone to ask. We would call the Amtrak station and not be able to get anybody because everyone was calling the Amtrak station. And it was really scary. I mean, I was really sick to my stomach about it.
No doubt a worrisome experience for her there. Benjamin told his mom there was heat and food on the trains. He has since moved to a hotel in Indianapolis. However, the 16-year-old is unsure on how he'll be brought back home to Milwaukee.
Before you hit the roads this morning, remember there may be black ice out there. The DOT says blowing snow and sub-zero temps are causing it. Our crew spotted this wreck in Dousman last night. No word yet from the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office on what exactly happened here, but this is just one of dozens of accidents on state freeways over the last few days. In Milwaukee County, sheriff's deputies responded to 80 disabled or abandoned vehicle calls and 21 crashes between 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. yesterday. We spoke with a local tow truck driver who tells us this week is one of the busiest he's seen in years.
A lot of people are not paying attention on how to drive, and they're not taking care of their cars or nothing. You know, cars are freezing up. It's bad. It's bad.
The best advice, of course, to be careful, keep your distance, know your brakes. Never text and drive, and watch where you park. There may be ice there, too.
6:37, the cold snap is not over yet, and at least 3 deaths statewide are being blamed on these harsh conditions. Now, we told you about the death of 66-year-old A.C. Anderson in Milwaukee. He was found near 44th and Burleigh Friday morning. State health officials are also now reporting deaths in Marquette and Ashland counties, which are possibly weather-related. No other details have been released at this time.
Local doctors are warning not to let your guard down. The wind chills are still bad enough to cause frostbite. Columbia, St. Mary's, and Mequon says it's seen more patients recently suffering from skin and tissue damage from exposure to the cold. They say those who have suffered frostbite in the past are more likely to suffer again. Doctors also worry that too many people don't heed the warning that alcohol can interfere with your ability to realize that the weather is doing damage.
We see a little bit higher volume with those patients that seems to be in the evening hours.
So that intoxication puts people at risk because they don't really notice the cold as well.
The hospital's burn center takes in frostbite patients because of its experience with protecting and restoring skin and tissue. If you think you're dealing with frostbite, contact a medical professional immediately. Do not attempt to warm your skin with hot water or flame because that can lead to burns.
Milwaukee Alderman Bob Donovan handing out one of his Golden Gloves Awards today. The awards are meant to honor people he considers local heroes. And today, that award goes to William Bierman Jr., who was fired from his job as a Milwaukee County Transit Supervisor last year after stepping in to help a woman who was being attacked. The termination letter stated Bierman compromised his safety and exposed his employer to potential liability. The transit system has not made any further comments.
Milwaukee is getting financial support for a new housing effort designed to restore tax foreclosed homes in the city. This morning, Mayor Tom Barrett and reps from North Shore Bank will talk about a $266,000 grant that will help new homeowners return foreclosed homes to good use. The grant is from the Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago. It's one of 15 awarded to Milwaukee last month for city projects.
And many parents in Wisconsin are, of course, grateful that schools closed earlier this week to protect their children. But did you know, at one American school, the kind of weather we've seen would not have closed their doors. Take a look now. This is Denali Elementary School in Fairbanks, Alaska, where not only do they keep the schools open in bitter cold weather, but they even send their students outside for recess. At this time of year, it's freezing just about every day, and there's very little sunshine, so they only keep the kids indoors when the mercury hits 20 below zero.
They think we're crazy. Okay. When I tell other principals around the nation, when I'm at a conference, and say, oh yeah, we go out to 20 below, they just don't believe it, and they laugh. And they say, oh, I can't wait to tell my staff, you know, when we tell you it's 20 above and we have to stay inside.
Well, the school's principal says the kids don't mind the cold. In fact, they love it. However, it's worth pointing out that they do seem to be pretty well bundled up there.
Still, can you imagine? I mean, it's one thing to run outside to the school bus, but to be outside for recess?
Lance is pointing out that in some areas there were temperatures are actually 20 below in the region, but right here in Milwaukee, we didn't quite get the actual air temperature of 20 below.
Yeah, but you're not sending the kids out to recess.
I didn't even want to go out in it.
That's craziness.
We're actually 18 below right now in Burlington early this morning. So, yeah, it's still very, very cold. But you know what, guys? It's presented some great picture opportunities. Take a look at this one. We've been sharing you with these viewer pictures throughout the day. This is from Mark Fox. Took this beautiful picture outside his bird feeder. Beautiful he says, he says a little snow on the beak and a little food in the tummy makes for a very happy cardinal. Look at that. Beautiful picture. Thanks so much, Mark Fox, for sharing that photo with us. You know what I can't wait to see? We start getting those pictures of robins showing up again. That's a sure sign of spring. All right, well, we still got a few months until that happens. But for now, the first light of the new day showing up. Clear to partly cloudy skies around southeast Wisconsin right now. Again, it is still bitterly cold, -5 out at Mitchell International. Currently, that's our low temperature for the overnight so far. And the wind chill with the air calm right now. That is a nice change. Really no wind to speak of, wind chill, so same as our actual air temperature. Now, we do still have some winds away from downtown. Actual air temperatures, though, now 17 below in Burlington to 14 below Watertown and 11 below in Sheboygan, -5s in Racine, along with Milwaukee. And then wind chill temperatures coldest to the north, 24 to 25 below Fond du Lac over towards Sheboygan. And we do have a wind chill advisory until noon for our northern counties, and then for our southern counties, including Jefferson, Milwaukee, Waukesha, Walworth, Racine, and Kenosha. It's until 9 o'clock this morning as temperatures begin to warm. So a little bit longer in our northern counties. But we do have clear skies now and mostly sunny conditions in our forecast throughout the day today, with a high temperature topping out at 10 above. But then we're going to drop back below zero overnight tonight. That'll be the 6 out of 9 overnights and mornings that we've had temperatures below zero just this month. And then as we go into Thursday, 22, as we continue to see temperatures moderate, but that's going to lead to, with the warmer air, an icy mix possible Friday, some sleet, freezing rain before changing over to all rain. So we're going to keep a close eye on this one. But it should be out of here other than some morning flurries Saturday, turning out to be a nice moderate weekend there with temperatures into the mid-30s. And, of course, we'll take this out to that 10-day trend, get you all the way through next week. That's coming up in the next 10 minutes. Nate, we'll see you then.
All right, thank you so much, Lance. And before you head out the door, you want to make sure you come take a look at our exclusive iCam. Andy Ravelli out on the roads in your community. And, Andy, what is happening right now?
Hey, good morning to you, Nate. Right now, traveling eastbound 894, approaching the Mitchell interchange. You're starting to see the usual slowdowns around this area like you always do. Now, I did pass some disabled vehicles southbound 894, just past the Lincoln Avenue ramp. So, again, it's out of traffic off to the right-hand side. Also, watch out for black ice. DOT's been reporting it. I'm sure Lance has mentioned it a few times, but you just want to be careful if you do have to pull over. when conditions are like this, very easy to spin out on those bridges and overpasses. They freeze easily. Other than that, like I said, people seem to be taking their time this morning.
All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it, and please drive safe out there. Of course, everyone wants to keep in mind that black ice is a possibility. You never know when you might strike that, so just drive with caution and care this morning. And taking a live look out through the DOT camera network to get you updated at this time. It is 644 I-4394 at Oklahoma Avenue. Look at that. It looks to be pretty smooth sailing for most folks around the system right now. And looking around the rest of things, there's really no major backups that I've seen elsewhere around the system at this point. Andy got you pretty much up to date, and no other issues to report at this time.
644 right now. Despite below zero temps in the Milwaukee area, people are still headed to the beach. We'll show you why.
And a pizza shop owner uses his delivery service to help people survive the recent brutal winter storms we've experienced. We'll share his story coming up.